The Radio Wammo Breakfast.
Issues of the day under T-Radar.
Morning, T-Radar.
Good morning. I bought that Naked and Famous album the other day. I haven't managed to quite listen to it all yet.
Pretty good, don't you think?
Well, what I've heard, it
What
seems
you heard?
good, yes. Young people's music, exciting.
Yeah,
Vibrant.
young people's music.
Young people making young people's music. Did enjoy it.
Yeah.
Made me feel sort of, I felt a little bit sort of like an elderly listening voyeur, listening into what the young people are into. I don't understand it.
Do you remember the age where it suddenly felt like that? You know,
Yes,
you crossed a line.
Yes, I would say last Tuesday.
Right.
Actually,
Yeah.
last Tuesday afternoon when I put the Naked and Famous album on, I suddenly went, I'm so out of touch with the youth. Don't understand them. But they seem to be having fun.
Nothing's stopping you appreciating it, though.
Nothing stops. You know, life is to be appreciated, and I'm currently in Wellington, and I'm appreciating it a great deal. You know, there's nothing, they do say there's nothing as beautiful as Wellington on a sunny day, and I'm sort of becoming of the opinion that they may be right. You know, I was walking around the town, all the beautiful old architecture, the stunning waterfront they've got down here, and my favourite thing, I've discovered it recently, Wellington's hidden gem, there's a large clock. And it's the old bank arcade in Wellington, and there's this enormous clock. It hangs down from the ceiling, and it's about 10 feet tall,
Yeah.
or, 10 feet long, and no one sort of sees it. They walk past through this arcade, and then I saw it the other day, it said viewing platform. I went, oh, well, I'm going to go and look at it, because, I may as well.
Yeah.
And then it said on the hour, every hour display, and I thought, well, it's 7 minutes to 1. I'll wait those annoying 7 minutes. This display had better be pretty impressive.
Yeah.
1 o'clock struck. Nothing happens.
Oh.
I think, oh, okay, all right. 15 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. Suddenly, these sort of petals on this clock, they're quite enormous, they'd be a couple of feet high,
Yeah.
sort of half a metre or a metre high. Petals open up like this enormous flower, and then this diorama begins to sort of light up, and this voice says, at this point in Wellington, there was such and such, and it gives you a little history of Wellington.
Wow.
And then the diorama turns around about 3 or 4 times to show you different scenes, including the earthquake that lifts the Plimerton Ark up off the sea, and the sea floor rises up. And I went, what? Underneath, all of these people, hundreds of people walking past underneath, not a single one looked up and saw it.
Yeah.
A hidden gem.
Wow.
Why is that not on the cover of all their tourist manuals?
Exactly. It sounds amazing. I'm certainly going to check in and see that next time in Wellington.
I know. And I've been boring people, tourists, that you see, and that you see them standing watching something, and you go, wow, you want to go to the bank arcade and see this, such and such. And they all say, oh, we must go and do that, but I bet none of them did.
No. You need to be, you're like the town crier.
I am like the town crier, yes, except I don't have a bell, and I'm a little bit creepier in that I don't actually have any real reason to go and talk to random strangers. It's just like, get away, creepy man, what are you doing? Creepy wizard?
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
Yeah. Do you enjoy your time in Wellington at all?
Yes, I think I do, actually, yes. I've sort of a fair few weeks down here, there's just something about it. I was talking to a friend who'd been up in Auckland for a while, and they came back to Wellington, and they had a sort of a renaissance, a re-falling in love with Wellington. But then again, having said that, it has been very beautiful weather for the last few days, and once that weather disappears, it'll be cold and windy and miserable.
This is very true.
A couple of days where you walk out and suddenly you step out from the lee of a building and are buffeted by gale force winds, and you think, oh, God, could have been blown into a bus.
But it doesn't matter what the weather's doing in New Plymouth when a new KFC opens.
That's exactly right. This is one of my favourite sort of, small town stories of the week. And I'm anyone in New Plymouth, and I don't mean to patronise you by calling you a small town. You are, in fact, a fully fledged city with a brand new, totally renovated KFC restaurant. And it caused such a sort of flurry of excitement that they had huge traffic jams and enormous queues all over the weekend because it's been closed for a couple of months. And reopened, and everyone thought, geez, I'd better get down to Dirty Bird, and it turned into quite the civic sort of occasion. People were quite happy to queue for 40 minutes to wait for some chicken.
Amazing.
Made the paper.
Amazing.
Yes.
Front page?
I'm not sure, actually. I only sort of saw it on the interweb, but I'm sure that it was probably, quite near the front.
I remember something similar occurred in Christchurch, which is, a bigger town, when Burger King opened in Morehouse Ave.
Right, yes. Well, I think Huntley was probably the same. I remember when Huntley had its KFC open and then it got a McDonald's, and that was definitely front page news.
What does it say? What's it saying, T-Radar? It's saying something, isn't it?
It's saying that it's really hard to resist, you know.
The dirty
fried
bird?
chicken. Yeah. It's just so, you know, you think, oh, it's succulent. Very, very succulent.
I mean, imagine, a new fruitery. A fruitery opens, a grocer.
Well, what GST removed from it, perhaps, under Labor's new scheme. So you're already looking at a saving on your food. I can't imagine people are going to flock to it unless it was a new kind of fruit. Like some kind of something that no one had heard of before. Because that used to happen in the UK, you know, back in the day when pineapples were the new thing and no one had ever seen them before, and they flocked to, you know, they were the height of sort of things to get your hands on.
Yeah.
Yeah, like an atom.
Like an atom, very hard to get your hands on.
Yes, and my story, I've always been dubious of anyone who says we've isolated an atom. You think, how do you know? You can't see it. You just point into some sort of chamber with some wires going into it and some sort of an electric sort of noise coming from it. And you go, yeah, you isolated an atom. And how do you disprove that? But at Otago University, some scientists have apparently made a major physics breakthrough with the development of a technique to consistently isolate and capture a fast-moving single atom.
So it's a particular type of atom, obviously.
Yes, the rubidium-85. Don't know what it does, but apparently this is quite important. Yeah.
Well, we've always been good at the atomic stuff.
Yeah. Apparently they're going to use it to build a quantum computer.
Okay.
What does that even mean?
Would the atom power the quantum computer?
I don't know, but apparently you need a set of 30 atoms if you want to build a quantum computer that's capable of doing certain tasks better than existing computers.
Golly, because of course the quantum computer is all about a piece of matter being in two places at one time.
Is it?
Isn't it? Well, something along those lines. That's one of the bases of it, I think.
But it strikes
I mean,
me.
I'm not a quantum physicist or anything, am I?
No, neither am I. Hence, probably our disbelief at the ability to isolate and capture a single atom and its purpose. We poo-poo it, yet at the same time, it's clearly very important.
We just have to say those people are much smarter than us.
They are definitely a lot smarter than us, and it makes us kind of sit here and think, oh gosh, I'm just not all that clever.
But we do sit there and marvel at the wonders of a great grand clock.
Oh, we do. And what a wonderful clock it is. You know, between that and the water wand, the Lenlai water wands down on the waterfront, which is essentially quite a spectacular glorified sprinkler, it is all going on in Wellington.
We shall today go out and continue our very ordinary and banal lives while down in Otago they're isolating an atom.
A single atom.
Thanks, T-Radar.
I feel somewhat sort of both exhilarated and depressed. We'll speak again next week.
We will. See ya.
All right.
Here's Sir Fred.